What's good, everybody? It is Super Triple J18 here, and what I'm gonna do once again, I'm gonna do the Resident Evil history videos. And I used to do this sometime last year, and I stopped doing this because it kind of like stressed me out and all that stuff. But I'm gonna start doing it once again, and I'm gonna reboot the thing. So I'm gonna start fresh and start with these characters all over again. I want to explain these characters again, and see I could do it a lot better than I did before. So this time, we're going to talk about Leon S. Kennedy. And the other reason I'm going to start off with Leon S. Kennedy for two reasons only. One, because Leon is my favorite character in the Resident Evil franchise. And two, he is going to be the star in the new Resident Evil 2 remake. And I know I said new Resident Evil 2, but yeah, he's going to be in the new Resident Evil 2 remake. He's the main character. So we're going to start off with him, and we're going to explain from his back to story to what he started, what was in Resident Evil 2, to what he's doing now. So I hope you guys will enjoy this video. Let's start this. Leon S. Kennedy was born in the year 1977, but we don't know a lot about his backstory. We don't know a lot before the year 1998. But in 1988, at the age of 21, Leon Kennedy graduated from the police academy, and he wanted to go to Raccoon City because he's heard a bunch of mysteries has been happening around that area. Leon broke up with his girlfriend, and he went to a local motel and he started drinking. He slept overnight, and he got there a day late on the day of September 29th. And when he got there, that's when everything went downhill. This is when the outbreak basically happened, and it went all over Raccoon City. So on his first day on the job, he was a part of a zombie apocalypse that passed all over the city. Then Leon ended up meeting a survivor. Well, I wouldn't say survivor because they basically both got to Raccoon City at the same time, but he ended up meeting Claire Redfield, who she's looking for her missing brother Chris. But we'll talk about that in another video. So Leon and Claire get split apart, and they try to go meet up in the police station. When they both get there, Leon meets another survivor named Ada Wong, who has claimed that she is looking for her missing boyfriend John. So they ended up having a development together, and they ended up being partners for a while. Leon finds out that Ada Wong was a spy trying to steal a sample of the G virus from Annette Birkin. But anyways, after they were trying to fight the tyrant and Ada gets severely wounded, Ada and Leon kiss, and Ada falls unconscious, and Leon mistakes her of being dead. But at the end of the game, when they escape, Ada helped Leon by giving him the rocket launcher that would kill the tyrant, and both Claire and Leon and Sherry Birkin both leave the facility. Leon and Claire split up once again, and Leon actually started taking care of Sherry, and they were both actually infiltrated by the US government. Sherry was taken away and took into protective custody, but however, Leon was interrogated, and he never mentioned Claire or Ada about any of the situation. But the US government actually got interested, and they actually recruited him to be part of them, and obviously we all know Leon accepted. So later on that year, and this is just a quick reference, that when Claire was actually on the Rockford Islands, Claire sent an email to Leon to ask him to tell Chris about her location and her situation, ask her to rescue her. So basically this is why it happened in Resident Evil 6, that how Leon and Chris knew each other is because through Claire of how the situation happened on the Rockford Island. So that's basically just a quick thing that it's just a quick reference they did in Code Veronica. In 2002, Leon Kennedy and his new partner Jack Krauser actually were part of the Operation Javier incident. That's how Leon and Jack actually met. That's why they knew each other in Resident Evil 2. But going back, they actually had to go to a small South American country because they've heard that a former Umbrella researcher has actually contacted Javier Hidalgo. But they realized that around that area there was a version of the T. Veronica virus that Javier has actually had in him. And basically they also had to deal with a lot of BOWs that have been worked there around the island too. So after they defeated Javier and all this crap, and they actually went back, Krauser actually got injured, and later on Leon heard that Jack Krauser has actually died. In 2004, and this is based in my favorite Resident Evil game of all time, or my favorite game of all time. In 2004, Leon Kennedy was actually assigned to go save the newest president's daughter, Ashley Graham, who got kidnapped by the cult Los Illuminados. During that mission, Leon and Ashley actually get infected by what they have called Las Plagas, which is kind of rare because this is a big difference, because this is one of the first Resident Evils that had nothing to do with Umbrella. The Las Plagas was a brand new thing in a brand new country, all that. So yeah, they got infected by Las Plagas, and during the whole story where Ashley keep getting kidnapped and stuff, they both Ashley and Leon were dealing with Las Plagas, eating them alive and also making them turn into one of them. This was also a Resident Evil 2 reunion. Ada and Leon met up with each other again, and Leon actually knew that Ada has been working for Wesker and trying to steal a sample of Las Plagas for him. Also, Jack Krauser actually shows up and attacks Leon, and Leon was so astonished just because how Leon knew that Jack was dead, and all of a sudden he sees him attacking him, working for Wesker and working for Sadler as a double agent. But anyways, after Leon defeats Krauser and he's getting mad at being sad like he was a good man and all this bullshit, they actually escape. They kill Sadler and they actually escape the island. And at the end, when Leon's taking Ashley home, Ashley asks him for some overtime, and then Leon's like, nah, I'm a one-woman type of nigga. Anyways, after that, after he completed his mission, 1 year later, in the year 2005, Harborville Airport actually got attacked by the T-virus, and the President of the United States actually sent Leon, because he started to become the #1 person to deal with a bunch of virus outbreaks. He became the first person to be noticed about any situation that happened there, and this actually happens in the movie Resident Evil Degenerations. During the Harborville Airport and how he was supposed to save a bunch of survivors that were in the building, he meets up with his old partner Claire Redfield, who was accidentally there also just because of the situation of the T-virus spreading all over the airport. They meet up again and they help to go find the rest of the survivors in that airport. Let me talk about the following movie that actually happened, which was Damnation, which is my favorite Resident Evil animated movie. This was based in the year 2011, and they heard a bunch of rumors about the BOWs happening in the war in the Eastern Slav Republic, and Leon was actually taken from his paid vacation to go figure this out. This is how much of a badass Leon Kennedy is. He is so important that he got removed from his vacation just to go deal with this problem. In the year 2013 is the last time that we actually get to play as Leon Kennedy. Well, technically 2012 because that's when the game came out. But in June 29, 2013, during Tall Oaks, USA, the President of the United States was actually going to talk about the previous incidents that's been happening for the last couple of years. But the President actually got infected by the C virus, and Leon Kennedy, which is supposed to be like one of the President's closest friends and stuff, Leon had to end the President's life there. Ingrid Hannigan had to tell Leon and his new partner Helena that there is a new company called Neo Umbrella that was claimed to be responsible with all these attacks and with relating to the C virus. Asked Hannigan to fake both Leon and Helena's death in order to go track down Simmons, who's basically probably the reason why all this crap even started, and had to go track him down. But the last time we actually see Leon, it is in Resident Evil Vendetta in New York City, and had to deal with the new virus called the A virus. During his vacation, once again, Leon got approached by Chris and Rebecca to tell him that there's attacks related to the BOW, and actually Leon's actually like a big ass drunk now. Like he basically hates his life. I won't say hates his life, but he's been dealing with this shit for over 20 years now. He's really stressed out and a bunch of crap, especially with the last terrorist attack that actually happened related to Washington DC. He's been going through a lot of problems dealing with this new A virus and stuff. But yeah, that's basically it. I'm not gonna explain that much about Vendetta a lot because y'all could watch the movie. It's not that bad of a movie. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, that's basically a lot of Leon's been doing for like over the 20 years he's been as a character. So I don't know. That's why I said Leon is my favorite character from the whole franchise alone. So Leon, does he have any relationships with anyone? And to be honest, he does not. He has a will they, won't they with Ada Wong a lot, and it's been referenced plenty of times between the series, especially at Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 2. Not really by Resident Evil 4 a lot, but those two specifically, they show that they had a thing with each other. And also in Resident Evil Damnation, they also explain how they spent time alone together also before. So Leon has a relationship with Ada Wong. It's a will they, won't they thing, but they have feelings for each other of some sort. But yeah, this is basically it. This is basically the history of Leon S. Kennedy. I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna do the first couple. I'm gonna do more of the Resident Evil 2 characters. Like I'm gonna do Ada, Claire, William, Sherry. I'm gonna do all that because the Resident Evil 2 remake is coming out in January. So I'm gonna do them first, and if anything happens related to that, I will do other characters from the Resident Evil series like Jill, Chris, and so on. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I'm out. Deuces.